Hello, welcome to this playthrough of Elden Ring, where I will be in the co-pilot seat and Branwell will be driving. This is a lore playthrough, and in every video there will be spoilers because this is intended as a vehicle for Branwen to explain her theories on the lore of the setting. So if you'd rather develop your own theories without being influenced by other people's, or don't want to be surprised on some of the deep lore of the game, this is not a straight playthrough of just playing gameplay focused. This is a lore focused playthrough. So you might want to give this a pass if you want to avoid big spoilers. With that said, I hope you enjoy the video. And we're back.
Ah, welcome back, everyone. We are doing Raya Lucaria, killing zombies, putting booping doggos on the snoot so that they have sleepy bedtime.
Indeed. It's long past bedtime for a lot of things here. Is
Yeah,
that another one of those belfries?
this
Yeah.
kinda, yeah. Yeah, so this Onyx Lord spawns in. These guys are masters of gravity magic.
Dunamancy, go.
They still bleed.
Nice. Cool.
So we get the gravity well incantation, a smithing stone. Yeah, not exactly a belfry. It doesn't have a bell, but it is
Sim-
some sort of marker,
it
altar,
has
tomb.
it has similar shape.
Yeah. Um, do one. What's the? Oh yeah, there's something. There's a relief up there.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people. It looks like a person surrounded by petitioners, beggars.
Mm, looks like it. Yeah. Interesting. Hadn't noticed that one before. Have to come back at some point and take a look at that. But yeah, oh, also flanked by more of these statues with the apron, with that particular pattern.
Yep, there's like, looks like three of them.
Four.
Ah, yeah, I see the fourth now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and there are also gravestones around.
Oh yeah, just against the wall.
Yeah, really old ones.
Yeah, there's a lot chipped off, worn
Mm.
out.
Looks like some sort of holy person, maybe?
Yeah,
But
robes, cloak.
really, really worn. That's worn down to unreadability.
There's
Looks like
faint.
there was,
It looks a little bit like the shape of wings.
yeah, and something circular. Wow, I have not noticed these before. That's a rune tablet.
It's another gravestone.
But much more worn. And yeah, similar, really worn gravestone.
And you can't click on them to read what's there.
No, no prompts. Well,
Did
that's
they
some.
move the graves to fit the monument?
That's an. That's interesting. Maybe.
Because
Is there anything on the back here? No.
they're put up right against the wall of this cavern.
Hmm.
And, I mean, they are really old, so the ground might have, adapted and hid the signs of anything going. But it's a very weird arrangement for gravestones.
Yes. Unless they're like. Unless they're not graves and they're markers. Like maybe this is a monument and this is like you're supposed to go around and read these to, you know, discover what the monument's
Oh,
about.
like the Stations of the Cross.
Yeah,
I mean, it is
something like
that is possible. Yeah, they do look a little bit older than the monument in the center, though.
they do. Yes, this is true. However, this is a dead end unless you hop onto this.
Hmm. And it's definitely a dead end if the Onyx Knight gets you.
Yes. Do-do-do. I always kill these guys because they've got a chance of dropping the sword, which is a really rare drop.
Huh.
Um, yeah. There is also hate those torch guys. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can like jump on this and to go down as well. We'll be doing that later.
Okay. Cool. Does the glintstone appear from the ground?
Yes, seems to, or it's mined from under the earth.
And the people that study magic slowly become glintstone.
Correct. At least
That's weird.
these guys do. Um,
Huh.
it could be something to do with like the way they mess with glintstone. Um,
Okay. Yeah.
and it also could be something they deliberately do to themselves.
Okay. Okay. So, like, introduce a infection to the body that will slowly take them over.
Yes, but for a purpose, because we will be learning that they can transfer their souls into new bodies by transferring their glintstone into another body.
Interesting. They
So we
can
get one of
once they go
we
glint.
actually
Sorry.
no, you go.
Once they go glintstone, they basically become like invasion of the body snatchers.
They can, yes.
Huh.
It is a technique we will be learning about. Yeah, glintstone crowns bestowed upon Raya Lucaria scholars whose pursuits were deemed worthy. This one increases intelligence to the detriment of HP. The lineage of the Olivinus Conspectus began with the sorcerer Lusat, and its adherents continue his study of meteors. So each of these crowns um, is from a different conspectus who studied a different aspect of sorcery.
I see. It's rather disturbing.
Yep. I'm going to take that off.
Cool.
And that little detour brings us back to here. And then we can keep going. Wow, you've got some poise on you, dude. Even the bleed proc didn't stop you from casting.
Impressive. Most
So
impressive.
this is a bit of a trap. There
So
are a
yeah,
lot of sorcerers in that room.
and the jar's right there waiting for you to not notice it.
Yeah. It's like a machine gun. It's
Yeah, I was wondering if they were fighting each other, and you looked around the corner and was like, no, they're just pounding at the
they're
wall.
just spamming. They don't have to worry about FP. You see, their moves have nothing, have no like limits or.
Yeah, this is something I run across in City of Heroes. You know,
Yeah.
you can get
Ah, they got me.
ow, yep. You can get power sets that drain enemy endurance, and by
Hmm.
and large, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I can bring them down to zero endurance, and they're still going to be able to use whatever they want to use.
Hmm. Yeah. It would be nice if that was a strat, if you could wait for them to have to like reload or whatever, but I get it. It's that would probably make things a bit too easy.
It would make the resource drain one of the stronger strats right out the gate.
Yeah. All right.
Fair. Oh, sheesh.
Yeah, that's the move that gets you in this room. Then being able to shoot through their friends also.
Yeah, yeah. The fact that that was grody.
Yeah, no, if you ever wondered what was in the jars, yeah, it's corpses.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
It's um it's why they go and like shatter themselves at the foot of the great trees.
Ah,
It's
right.
uh it's to fertilize the great trees.
Okay, that makes sense. Oh, I recently had another theory about the Silmarillions and why they cause people to go mad a lot.
Oh.
And I don't know if it applies here, but the Silmarillions are undoubtedly holy objects. They object to being held by evil,
Interesting.
but they contain the light from the two trees, and that is objectively a
Oh.
holy substance.
Ooh, that's good.
But
Okay.
but almost everybody that goes and seeks one out falls to some sort of corruption.
Mm.
The exceptions I can think of are Baron and Luthien, who didn't seek it out for their own benefit. They were told to go find it.
Interesting.
And
Interesting.
the Silmarils were made by Fëanor.
Hmm.
And these were his crowning achievement, his masterpiece, his pride. So I think that's that fact that it is an artifice of sheer pride
Hmm.
containing a holy thing is what makes it bring out the worst in people that seek it.
Interesting. Yeah, that could have some implications for the Elden Ring itself. Um, because it is made of holy light. It is related to the Erd tree. We suspect that Brea Lucaria here is built on top of a tree that was full of glintstone. This could be a thing.
Yeah.
Um, so this is a portrait of Renala, the principal of the school,
Okay, cool.
wife of Radagon.
Right.
Um, we will be meeting her soon, and that is a replica of her staff.
A replica of her staff.
Well, yes, because we can get it later.
I see. It is big.
It is very big. She is very big. We will be talking about that later. We will also be talking about the design of her staff and how it relates to other characters in the Elden Ring. But this, considering all of the rest of these bookshelves seem to have a lot of mess in front of them, it seems weird that this one doesn't.
I would probably never find these without like a walkthrough of some sort.
Oh yeah, no, that's how I found them. I'll be honest. Yeah, so that's one of the more powerful sorcery attack spells. This is obviously like the principal's office or something.
Mm.
Stone Sword Key, another one of these.
If the statues,
Yeah.
if the comets is one of the major fields of study,
Yep.
this could be like the dean
Yes.
of that
Very
of that of that
of that
field.
conspectus.
Yeah,
Yes. No, that's a very good point. You are probably right. This is probably what's this say? Fires a great magical comet, greatest of the Karolos Conspectus's sorceries that only very few sorcerers have ever mastered. Well, well done, Thrith. That makes a lot of sense. So yeah, so this takes us to another little secret area downstairs. Um,
a secret within a secret. Oh, baby jars.
Baby jars, yes.
Gerber the heck out of them.
Yeah, they come alive once you grab the item here, and dealing with them all at once is a pain.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that's a talisman that enhances sorceries.
You know what else the big piles of glintstone remind me of in comparison to like Dark Souls? What I've seen is
Mm-hmm.
Sieve the Scaleless.
Seath the Scaleless, yes.
They look very much the same color scheme and some of the same like that spikiness and such.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely a thing. Oh yes, some more portraits. No, that's definitely a thing. Either Seath was also studying glintstone, which, considering he created or seemed to have created a bunch of sorceries,
Hmm.
um, yeah, that's definitely there's definitely parallels or something going on. So these are portraits of some of the heads of the conspectuses.
Got it.
Um,
And there's
the the
the
the
twins up.
twins up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were the sorcerers with the twin glintstone helms are the elite of the academy. They have some nasty spells, but we have a boss.
Indeed.
Um,
one moment before you, oh, you're going in. You already.
What's happening?
I was just going to say that nothing. I was just going to say that I had another thought about Fenor, but we can wait.
Cool, cool.
Big doggy. Okay, there are comparisons to that with Sif.
Yes, it's. I believe it's even like the same or a similar move set.
Yeah. Uh, what
Okay.
what I was going to say is part of the end of the world prophecy for Lord of the Rings. One of the many things that'll happen is Fëanor will repent, consent to dismantle the Silmarils after they're gathered, and
Mm.
the sun and the moon, which are seeds and fruits of the original two trees, will be brought down and brought back to life by giving the light back unto them.
Oh wow. Okay. Oh yeah, we are going. Yes, that that is a thing. That is definitely a thing in this game. Uh, so stuff in this room. Sorry.
No worries.
So sorry. To talk about what you just said in Dark Souls 3.
Yes.
Um, the sun is when you go to when you go to the kiln of the first flame, which is the final battle, the sun is eclipsed, and there is a like line of sunlight that's coming down to the horizon, like like a dribble coming down out of it, which is which is a reference to Berserk. Um,
Interesting. That's an image.
However, people have talked about how we will find some items. In fact, I think I have one of them. Um, I have a shield of the Mausoleum Knights. Yep, Eclipse Crest Great Shield.
Oh, I can see
Metal
it
Great.
dripping down the middle. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yep. Painted with a sun in eclipse, carried by the headless Mausoleum Knights. The eclipsed sun, drained of color, is the protective star of solar skilled demigods. It aids the Mausoleum Knights by keeping destined death at bay. Um,
Okay.
there is a theory that the Erd Tree was either created by or is a vessel of the sun's energy, which was drained by Marika to create the Golden Order.
The tree was drained of energy by Marika.
No, the sun was drained by
Oh, the
energy, and
sun was
that
drained by
energy
energy.
was drained into the Erd Tree.
So interesting.
Mm.
Do you know how the two trees died?
No, do tell.
Ungoliant and Morgoth had a brief alliance. Morgoth helped Ungoliant get in, and then Ungoliant drained the trees of all the light in them, devoured it.
Oh, oh, that's interesting.
It made her
Oh,
substantially more powerful.
wow.
Enough that
Okay.
Morgoth had to call his Balrogs to save his ass. Um,
Yeah. Wow. So So that could be how she's so like, because there is a thing with at the end of Dark Souls 3. The canon ending is that you defeat the final boss, which is the Lord of Cinder. That's the combined memories of all of the people who have ever fed themselves to the first flame to or linked it in order to continue the Age of Fire.
So Gwyn and everybody else.
Yeah, in fact, the very final boss is the soul of Cinder possessed by Gwyn. It uses his exact moveset. Um,
Interesting.
then you summon the Firekeeper, who you've been working with for the entire game. Um, and she takes the first flame and extinguishes it. And at the same time, the sun goes out and everything is plunged into darkness for the Age of Darkness. But just after it all goes to black,
Right.
you hear the Firekeeper ask, "Are you still there?" And then the game, that's the end of the game. Credits roll.
Interesting.
Um,
Okay.
so if the first flame was the sun and Marika was draining the sun, that like I can also talk about there's links to I think the Firekeepers that you're like your guides in Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 3 might have something to do with Marika slash Guinevere.
Right.
Um, which means like, and if so Marika was draining the sun to, if that was to depower or make Gwyn vulnerable, the first flame vulnerable, so that it could be extinguished, and she was draining that into the Erd Tree or into herself,
Yeah.
to empower herself, or or Radagon was doing that.
Right.
That's new that's new links that we can put together, because
Right.
very obviously there's a lot of Lord of the Rings going into this.
Yeah. The thing that's getting me is there were the two pillars which aren't were destroyed originally. But that was I think that was before the Children of Iluvatar woke, so it's not talked about much. But then there were the two trees, which
Mm,
was a silver tree and a gold tree, and
yes.
all light was coming from those trees. And the further out you got, the darker the world was.
Yes.
Then the two trees died, and they managed to save two fruits from each thing. They asked Fëanor to break the Silmarils to bring them back to be able to fertilize the seeds and bring them into new trees. But Morgoth had already stolen. Fëanor refused, and then Morgoth stole the Silmarils, so that won't happen until near the end.
Mm.
And it might be part of the making of the next world. I'm not entirely sure. But the sun comes from the tree. The sun and the moon come from the trees. And then towards the end, the sun and the moon will be brought back down to earth and be made into new trees.
Oh. Oh, interesting. Yeah, no, we can take a look at some stuff to do with all of that. Should we do that now, or should we look at this room?
Uh, we got 28. We're at 28 minutes. Let me
New
switch new video.
new video. Yep.